This is the United States Military Academy. This is exactly the same scene we had at this time last night. I'm Nikolai Busko. Welcome to Shea Stadium, where the Army West Point Women's Rugby program looks to take on defending two-time national champion Dartmouth. But, yes, it's Groundhog Day, but I'm not Phil Connors. And I'm very thankful for that because I can't figure out the weather. We're in the same boat as we were last night. If you've lived in the Northeast, you know that almost every single athletic event under NCAA auspices has had to deal with lightning delays at one time or another. It is now 6 o'clock. Army and Dartmouth are supposed to kick off here at Shea Stadium. Anderson Rugby Complex is still not in good enough shape to have a game following yesterday's deluge that forced the Army men's team to play Trinity College Dublin here last night. So we're still in a holding pattern at the moment, and I wish I had something to tell you. What we can tell you is that if they do play tonight, you'll have Army and Dartmouth rekindling a rivalry that has had three big meetings the last couple of years. Army has come so close to beating Dartmouth, but it just hasn't happened. Dartmouth's won the last three meetings. Army has not won since 2019. Dartmouth has won 19 NYRA 15s games in a row. The Black Knights opened the season last week, lost at Sacred Heart 31-7 to trailing Sacred Heart 26-0. Dartmouth didn't break a sweat last week at Penn State, winning that contest over Nittany Lions 79-0. A couple of bookkeeping items for later if we need them. Just like last night, there is no room for Dartmouth to come back and play tomorrow. We have to get this match in. And if you've been following carefully, we have a women's soccer match tomorrow against Colorado College that begins at 11 a.m. So things are changing rapidly. Men's soccer against Albany's been moved from Monday to Tuesday. So there's no room at the inn for the Big Green to take on Army tomorrow. A couple of other things, and I confirmed this with Gene McIntyre, who is part of the administration. He's the sports supervisor for the rugby teams. There is a provision in the NYRA bylaws in the event that they cannot play this game. It sounds like it's going to be very difficult, if not impossible, to reschedule. One more thing. If we do start the match and we do end up having to stop it because of lightning, of the 80 minutes that a rugby match contains, we only need 60 to have an official game. So we are in a holding pattern. I know I'm starting to sound like a chart-topping broken record, but please be patient with us. As soon as we know something, we will relay it to you. But for now, we are still in a holding pattern. It's Groundhog Day. I'm Nikolai Busko. This is Army West Point Athletics on YouTube.
Yeah.
This is the United States Military Academy. This is Army West Point Athletics on YouTube. Yes, for the second straight night, both teams and those of us involved have had to battle the elements, but Army and Dartmouth are about to do battle here at Shea Stadium. Good evening, everybody. I'm Nikolai Busko. Thanks for joining us. Army and Dartmouth getting ready for a big NYRA clash. The Black Knights trying to pick up the pieces after a bad opening loss to the season. Trailed at Sacred Heart 26-0 at the half and then lost 31-7 to start the season. First time since 2018 that Army lost its first game of the 15s campaign. Asha Jarosinski scored the second half after multiple offloads, the last one coming from Olivia Pop. Those accounted for the major score for Army. Multiple changes last week from last year's team. Melissa Eisenhart remains the fly half, but Emma Gamboa and Olivia Pop they'll look to lead from the front. Eisenhart and Cecilia Aldis, by the way, spent time with the USA Rugby U20s for the Pacific 4 Series this summer. And Gwen Campos, remember her? She had a horrific injury against Harvard to end the season prematurely last year. She returned to the lineup last week after what happened in that match. Dartmouth did not break a sweat at Penn State last week. Angelina Meni and Simone Bautista each scored 3 tries and a 79-0 shellacking of Penn State. They're up 36-0 at the half. Dartmouth defended its NYRA title last season by beating Harvard 15-10 at Burnham Field. The Big Green have not lost a NYRA 15s match since 2019. That is a 19-game winning streak. These teams have a history, and it's been pleasant, more so for Dartmouth than Army lately. Dartmouth has won the last 3 meetings. Army has not beaten the Big Green since 2019. Dartmouth won last year's game at home by a score of 24-15. And Dartmouth beat Army in the national championship game at West Point 2 years ago. So the Big Green have a lot of history, a lot riding on this particular match as they are looking for the three-peat. Army is just trying to find a way to shake off the bad loss against the Pioneers last week. The Black Knights, the good news is they've played well at home in recent competition. Last year, they won all 4 games at Anderson Rugby Complex, outscoring opponents 140-43. They held Dartmouth to a season-low 24 points last season. But, of course, here's the bad news. As you've noticed for the second straight night, we are not at Anderson Rugby Complex. You may remember that in July, Anderson Rugby Complex took a big hit from that millennial flood that shook West Point. The field was okay before big rains yesterday, and to be frank, it looked like a bit of a mud pit. That explained why we ultimately had to move the men's clash involving Army and Trinity College Dublin over here last night, and that game didn't get started until about 9 o'clock last night. Unfortunately, Warrior Field and Anderson Rugby Complex did not make a full enough recovery to be able to be used today. But the good news is this should be a great test for Army to see how they do in a slightly unfamiliar setting. For those unfamiliar with Shea Stadium, it is where sprint football for Army plays its home games, as well as track and field competition, and, of course, special situations like the Special Olympics. So this field definitely gets its mileage. For those who did not tune in last night, they will try to mark off the try lines at basically where the goal lines are for the football teams. You see lots of lines all over the place. As far as the width of the field, the red lines, which are normally used for soccer. Somebody did point out to me, yes, there was a soccer game here during the pandemic. That's the last time they played a soccer game here. Malik Steve and Clinton Field, very much the home ground for both teams there. So that's what we'll be using tonight, the red lines, to determine when the ball is played in a touch when somebody steps out of bounds. The goalposts, they are where they are. We can't move them. No, this is not the CFL. They're not on the goal line like rugby. They're going to be back there this evening. So it'll look a little bit different tonight. But the good news is we have Army and Dartmouth here to play a very meaningful game. There was no way that we could reschedule the game for tomorrow, and it was going to be very difficult to reschedule this game if it did not take place tonight. Gene McIntyre, the sport administrator for the rugby program, said there's actually a provision involving NYRA and unplayed games. So if they were not able to play this game at all tonight, they would have found a solution to the problem. And additionally, one more housekeeping note, an official game, the threshold is 60 minutes out of the 80. So if we get surprised with rain tonight, we should be okay. But I think first we have a very special moment, a meaningful moment coming down on the pitch tonight.
heat. Haley, who passed away in a training accident on August 1st while in Germany, was serving as a scout platoon leader in the 2nd U.S. Cavalry Regiment. Haley loved everybody without condition. She especially loved God, her family, her boyfriend, the Army, and her many close friends. She left a profound impact on the Army Women's Rugby program, both on and off the pitch. Please, join us in a moment of silence in honor of Haley. Thank you. And now we will begin tonight's match.
It goes without saying that at a service academy, you realize that you're getting into something that's deeper than anything you could possibly imagine. No NCAA institution, no institution of higher learning values human life more than a service academy. That is the one thing that West Point, Annapolis, Colorado Springs, Kings Point, and New London, the happiest Americans you can find, have that in common. Sometimes you have to try to find the right words. Other times there are no words. I'll simply share this. The statement that Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Byerly, 4th Squadron Commander, issued following Haley's passing. Haley was an exceptional leader. As the Sabre family mourns her loss, we are reminded of the courage and commitment that she displayed each day. She was a true example for others to emulate. Haley saved her best rugby for last. It was during the 2021 spring, her final semester at West Point, that she led the team with 6 tries and 32 points in a 3-match 7 series against Air Force. She left it all on the table. And tonight, the Black Knights, her teammates, will try to do the same.
Yep, the 40 is 10.
You hear a different voice when I'm not talking. Yes, Matt Lake, our match referee, is mic'd up. For those who've been looking for ways to shut me up, you've got one tonight. So when he speaks, we will all listen. Ellie Carney will field the opening kickoff when we are underway. And this one might have been knocked ahead. Matt told me before the game, Nick, if I'm talking too much, then that's not a good thing. So an early scrum here for Dartmouth. Dartmouth in the white and green, Army in the black. Very grateful that both teams have big numbers that I can see.
Fine. Set.
I love this part. Shift it back quickly. As the big green have to regroup. A good run and a good tackle. Shift it back. This one might have been knocked ahead, and that'll blow a whistle.
Knock on by 8. Scrum black.
Nikki Insicken with the knock on there for Dartmouth. So an Army scrum here. Again, these teams have seen each other in big matches lately. Army's trying to stem the tide here and start anew here. The choir is in tune. The JV Glee Club did a great job last night during the men's game. And this one shifted there as Yesenia Morales tries to go forward. Army with good possession. Shit on the far side. Asha Jarusinski. It is okay to have spotters tonight, by the way. We're going to need them all. It's been a long day for everybody, including me. Chances are, if you've been part of an NCAA sporting event here in the Northeast, you've had delays. And a big hit on Carney. I believe that was Maura Hugh with a big hit there, and we have a whistle. So a knock on against Army, which means that Dartmouth gets a great opportunity inside the 22. We point out again, this is Shea Stadium. I think they're adopting the 20s officially as the 22s tonight.
Coach. Fine. Set. Hold. Stay back 9.
As the Big Green trying to come up with it. Moving in front. Is she in? Yes, she is.
Oh, yeah, it's the white
Nikki
line.
Hensiken gets the first points of the match, and the Big Green open up the early lead inside 3 minutes. Quick off the scrum. We saw that a lot last night with Trinity, especially off the ruck. The quickness, the power. Dartmouth knows their business quite well. Hard to find anybody that's been better the last couple of years. Not only are they the defending two-time national champions, but they've been so good with the way they've done it too. Abby Sabin will attempt the conversion. Hensiken has set her up pretty well. For those new to rugby, you must try the conversion from where the ball is dotted down to the in-goal area. I don't know how much American football she watched growing up, but those are the goalposts tonight. She is 1 for 1. The Big Green in front, 7-0 inside 4 minutes. Army West Point's top priority is to develop leaders prepared to fight winter nation's battles. As the world's preeminent leadership institution, the Academy focuses on producing people who exude trust, accountability, passion, integrity, and empathy. Learn more, visit GoArmyWestPoint.com.
Yeah, whenever you want.
So Army will try again. Alyssa Eisenhart kicks this one deep. Goes off of a hand because it's backwards. There's no whistle. Josie Harrison was able to field it as Dartmouth will go station to station right now. Again, there's no 4-down territory. This is not the Southern Hemisphere. There's a 5th tackle. You just maintain possession and don't make any ball handling errors. As Humphreys was hauled down, this will be kicked down by the Big Green, and this will go out of bounds.
Take it back. Line out here on the 20.
And Lake says, bring it back. So Army will get a line out here in good position as they try to equalize quickly.
You're going to have that mark here. Army, your mark is here. How many? 4. 4.
Kickoff temperature was 73 degrees. It was about 10 degrees warmer at its peak today. Plenty of lightning in the area, but I don't think it affected the football game here all that much. Shifted back. Eisenhart able to make a great move. Offloads it now. Here comes Murtaugh. Murtaugh, though, is wrapped up by Walker. Oh, there's lots of hitting right now. Walker tries to go through. And this one's going against the Big Green, so Army gets another opportunity here. Emma Gamboa getting ready to restart. Lake says not yet. She'll kick it along and they'll start all over again. Fullerton Sander tries to come through. Shade Fullerton Sander tries to push her way through, but the ball spots out and Dartmouth will take over.
Take a step.
Ball handling errors can be very costly, and the Big Green will be content to play for field position right now, but we've got a whistle in the back.
Offside number 12.
And somebody was offside, so Lake says bring it back. Again, he told me tonight before the match, Nick, if I have to talk a lot, then that's not a good thing. So Army was offside. Dartmouth will get another chance here. And this one will reach the track. So the Big Green on the move again. 7th minute. Hensiken has the try. Dartmouth in front 7-0. You can use Twitter to keep up with the latest news information about the Army West Point women's rugby team. The handle is Army WP_W Rugby. Again, Army WP_W Rugby on Twitter. So an important line out here is the Big Green trying to keep it moving again. Nicely touched by Naya Cordero. But Army will push back. Backward steps are part of the process, and this one is spilled. And advantage will not be given. Army will have a scrum just over midfield.
Tuck on, scrum black. Right here.
Ironically, 7 o'clock was the initial start time today. Then they moved it to 6. And then Gene McIntyre said at about 6:05, we're back to 7.
Fine.
It's like we did the hokey pokey and turned ourselves around.
Up. Yeah. Let's keep that weight back. Front rows work hard, second rows help them out. Like that? Okay, yeah. There's not enough stability. I think you're saying though, yeah. We're a little far apart. Coach!
The referee isn't just
Fine.
the referee. He's also an instructor.
Set.
But you notice that Matt Lake is not a drill instructor either. We've got plenty of those around here, don't we? Brought back. Here comes Morales as she's looking for a head of steam. Good quick passing, but Carney just got dumped. And a big hit.
Instruction number 7.
And it looks like instruction has been whistled against Army. So Dartmouth will get the ball back. Although Katie Hansen looked like she was ready to line up somebody for a big hit for Dartmouth. They're not afraid to hit. This will be fun. Walk by the Dartmouth bus as we were wondering if we're going to get this game played or not. As everybody bumps into each other.
Been touched.
Steen and Walker,
never touched.
neither one of them hit the brakes.
White line out, never touched.
So line out forthcoming. The looks on the face of the Big Green players as they stood outside their bus about maybe an hour before game time, so a little bit after 6, after we found out that 7 was going to be the start time. They did not want to go back to Hanover without playing this game. Even if they lose, they want to play. They didn't come all the way down here to not play. Ciametti tossed it back in. And it looks like the final scene of the Mary Tyler Moore show. Many gets many meters, even though the field shows yards. Pops it back, and it's intercepted as Army will come up with the spilled milk again. I think that was just out of the reach of Cordero for Dartmouth. And a big forearm shiver. No drowning pool necessary. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Knock on by White from Black.
And so a knock-on brings the craziness to a complete halt. Army with a scrum coming up.
Knock on advantage.
Don't you just love the energy right now?
Knock on White, scrum Black.
You still have time to buy season ticket memberships for Army football, even though they just played that first game today. Memberships in sections 12 and 13, the Superintendent's Loge and Hoffman Priority Seating are not available online. Please contact the Army A Club at 845-938-2322 to order. For information on family value season ticket memberships in the corner sections, please call 1-877-TIX-ARMY.
Okay. The issue's over here on the loose head side. All right, I need you to be under and high. Make sure you're under numbers. Okay?
More instructions. They're all learning.
All right, here we go.
Yes, the football team beat Delaware State 57-0 today. One request, not sure who's in charge of this, but on the message board outside Stony Lonesome, when you get off the exit to go to Stony Lonesome, and I say this with my wife's parents, graduates of the University of Delaware, UD and Delaware State are not the same. Please fix the sign. Army did not play Delaware today. Delaware State was the opponent. Thank you very much.
Get back! Army, back a step! Thank you.
So Army gets back on side, and hit from behind was Hea Pilotu.
Knocked on the ground from Black.
Everybody's feisty right now. The nervous energy associated with possibly not playing tonight is exploding like a high school volcano involving baking soda and vinegar. Gamboa is about to put the coin back into the slot here to see if she can activate the mechanical bull. 12 minutes in. Hensick in with a try for Dartmouth. Saban left with a good conversion. And this one will go against Talava for Dartmouth. I think she was trying to pull down the scrum, or at least that's what the call was. Fullerton Sander tries to drive forward for Army. As the Black Knights are approaching the doorstep again. And a good run, but a good tackle. Out of far, so I think that was Eisenhardt again. And this one is bobbled and bungled, and that's the end of that.
By Black, second knock by White, scrum White.
I have no doubt the ball is a little bit wet, but I think both teams can be better with the ball right now. A little bit of nerves. That's okay. Sister Mary Clarence will be happy with the chord that choir just hit. Dartmouth will put it back in and see what they can do with it. They got their try off of a scrum earlier.
White, black. Free kick, white. Free kick, white. Early drive. Free kick, white. Back 10.
I believe Matt Lake said early drive. I think Paige Barnum might have been the culprit for Army. So a free kick coming up for the Big Green, as they'll likely put it in touch and set up a line out. Nope. They'll go for a bit of a stroll with it, and that surprised a couple of people. Now it's kicked down. This is a live ball. Aaron Jacobs back to get it for Army, and it goes out of bounds.
Did that cross over the 22 or in front of the 22? It was okay, thank you. No 50-22 then. Army, you're here. Dartmouth. Thank you. Good ball.
So a line out coming up for Army here. I like the energy. Army, though, is yet to get down into the shadows of the sticks for Dartmouth. Over shot, and this one is picked off. Brought back quickly and brought down was Humphreys for Dartmouth. And this one is almost picked off.
Legitimate attempt to catch. This scrum only.
Was that an intentional knock-on?
Legitimate attempt.
I heard legitimate attempt there. So it'll be a scrum coming up here as Dartmouth will make every attempt here to try to get around the bend one more time. 15 minutes in front, 7-0. Dartmouth, two-time defending national champion.
Okay. This is going to let the fence be a free kick. You need to be not on her back. Okay. All the way over the top. Here we go.
If you listen to the ref, then good things tend to happen.
Fine. That's it. Stay back.
Everybody's driving forward. These women are fearless. And Army take away the ball. Somebody has stolen the bacon. Blinking right, turning left.
Tackle!
And it looks like Pelota was trying to strip the ball away, but we have a whistle. Looks like not releasing the ball carrier. I think I did hear Lake say tackle. The one benefit about doing a game here at Shea instead of Anderson is that when there is a free kick, I don't have to worry about the ball coming at me. I've had some scares over the years. Years ago, I made a catch during a women's game. I tossed the ball back. I said incoming, and there was a young cadet who wasn't in the game at the time, and it nearly hit her in the back of the head. That's the closest I've come to being fired. And now they're out of bounds, and you can imagine that because we're using the red lines associated with soccer, there's not much room between the touch line and the benches.
Navy. Army.
The players who are not in the game right now may have to protect their teammates from the bench and perhaps the bench from the teammates. This one is tapped through and it's taken down by Gamboa. Army going on the far side here again as we're approaching the midway point of this first half. And it is stolen and brought back by the Big Green. I think that might have been Shear on the far side. Shifted again as the Big Green continue to try to get something done. No signal yet. Has to be grounded. Lake is looking for it. And he has signaled a try.
Number 12.
Simone Bautista, I think, got it for the Big Green, and they're now up 12-0. It was messy, but the teacher was benevolent and said, yes, you've shown your work, full credit. Now here's the problem for the Big Green because where it's dotted down. Abby Saban's been left high and dry in White River Junction. If you're in the Dartmouth camp, you know where that is. Lovely town, but it's not in New Hampshire. It's good. Saban is 2 for 2. The pizza man has arrived, but there's nothing for me. Good news for the Big Green is that they've been able to deliver the goods and lead 14-0 as they're coming upon the midway point of this first half. Up for auction is a game-used ball from the Army men's soccer win over Air Force a couple of weeks ago. Army head coach Brian Plotkin has signed it and inscribed it. Proceeds support over 1,000 cadet athletes at West Point. To bid on it, please visit the Twitter account for Army West Point Authentic, AWP_memorabilia. Army has not been short on hustle, but in a way it kind of looks like the men's game against Trinity College Dublin last night where the Black Knights had to defend a lot in the early going. Ciametti gets ready to toss this back in. How well can the Black Knights defend this? It's dropped. It looks like Lake is signaling advantage, or at least he was. That looked like a knock on him, but they'll continue to play on here. Tremendous tackle, I think, by many again. Not afraid to get in and get dirty. As trying to drive forward is Barta, but she's taken down. Hansen was involved. Wonker tries to drive through. The door just closed, though.
Hold your down first. Hold your feet first.
You cannot jump into the pie. You can't leave your feet. Army had a chance, but the ball is spilled. We have a whistle. And that one might have been forward. Looks like we've had a lot of people stick around following the football game, and that's a wonderful thing.
Go Big Green!
As you learn more about the sport, I think you get a sense and you get an appreciation for what this sport entails. You're not wearing any pads, and only a couple of players at most on your team on the field allowed to wear helmets at that time.
Fine.
My introduction to Bill LeClaire, the Army head coach for the women's program here, was a series of YouTube videos. I can't find them anymore. Of him, I don't know where he was. It wasn't with the academy, but showing how to condition yourself properly for the game. And we've got ourselves a big exchange on the far side. That might have been Emily Steen on the tackle for Army. No, pardon me, it was not. As this one is put out of bounds. Might have been Carney.
Dartmouth.
As I look at the replay here, because I'm actually watching the video on delay, it's a good instant replay button. It was actually Yesenia Morales who's not so quietly had a boisterous start for Army. Eisenhart gets wrapped up. Look back now for Linder. Linder tries to drive through, but gets taken down by a couple of Big Green. Comes to Morales. Tries to elbow her way through, able to offload it. As taken down is Jacobs. And the Big Green have it. Some good pushing by Ciametti. Like Elvis, she's everywhere right now.
Don't pull her through.
So the Big Green are able to come up with that, and they'll kick it on the ground. It's a live ball. Anybody can grab it, and it's finally worked back. Able to find it was Eisenhart. But wrapped up is Jacobs. As getting involved was Piloto. And they're going to whistle Dartmouth, I think, Piloto for not rolling away. Might have been Saban, pardon me. She was in the vicinity, too. You've probably guessed by now that there's no cannon here tonight. With 57 points, that was the number, right? 57 points today. It's a lot of push-ups. It's also a lot of gunpowder.
Thank you.
It's a long day when the parking lot's open at 0600. Murtaugh has it blocked. It'll roll out of bounds, and she says, I'm not touching it.
It went off. It went off white foot.
I think Lake is saying went off somebody for Dartmouth.
Use your mark here. Use him, please.
So take two, the director says.
Use him, please. Sorry. Black, you're here.
They'll move a little bit to the right for better lighting.
Thank you.
Very grateful the lights are working at Shea the last couple of days, so they'll go to short way. That's the way they used to do lineouts until our great friend Pete Dawkins went to Oxford, as we've got some shoving going on involving, looked like it was Murtaugh and Walker for a second. This is off a foot, so it's a live ball. Negotiated well and then taken by Kaiser. Yeah, Pete Dawkins was the first one to start throwing an overhand on the lineouts when he went to Oxford, and they thought he was crazy. Remember, he was recruited as a football player here, not just as a running back, but a quarterback. Then he became a running back. Was also a pretty good hockey player, too. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we've got the ball on the far side at midfield. As the Big Green continue to just clip along here in front, 14-0, 24 minutes in.
Oh, in the term. Okay.
This year's Army Sports Hall of Fame induction banquet happens Friday, October 6th. Begins at 6 o'clock at West Point's Eisenhower Hall. To buy individual tickets or reserve a table to 10, visit GoArmyWestPoint.com. For more information, please contact the Army Club at 845-938-2322. So the Big Green making some headway again. It comes to Pelotu, who's able to offload it now for Walker. Walker, down the right side. She came almost straight enough. Tremendous catch is made as the Big Green think they've scored. No, they have not. They're just short. Think it came to Hugh at the end there.
Advantage offside, number 8.
Advantage given an offsides. If this does not go well, is right now a massive battle involving Bautista for the Big Green. And running again is Kaiser. But this one is going to be spilled, and we'll see if we're going to go back to the original offsides call. I think that's what Lake is doing here.
In front of the back foot.
So Lake says, nope, we're going to go back here. This is the closest thing Rugby has to a restore point on your hard drive. He says this is where the offsides was. So the Big Green get another chance. Army's defending well, but they can't do this all day. So the Big Green knocking on the door again. They have not had to ring the doorbell yet tonight.
Right up here.
Big moment in this match. Army cannot afford to be down 21-0. Heaved in like she's tossing it near the corner flag in soccer was many. And a knock-on's been whistled. Another critical moment here. Gamboa will put this in. Army must retain possession and likely kick it away out of their in-goal area. There is energy in the building. That's a good thing. And Dartmouth gets a reprieve as Army has sinned. Will they pay for it? It looks like they have.
Number 5 on the try.
Maura Hugh gets credit for the try, and the Big Green are up 19-0. So Maura Hugh is able to just slide that one in like utility bill for the mailman. Here comes Abby Saban, who's 2 for 2. Not quite from Hanover, but not White River Junction either. Maybe from Concord. That's how they pronounce it, by the way. In international competition, there's usually a monitor that says respect the kicker at the big grounds, like what you're seeing at the World Cup right now. I thought that might come back, but she hooked it. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, says Meatloaf. 19-0 the score with 12 minutes left in the opening half. Momentum continues to build for the Mikey Stadium Preservation Project. All the suites of the proposed east stands have been sold, as well as most of the loge boxes. The Army West Point Athletic Association will have an update on the project after this football season, with an anticipated target opening for the renovated stadium ahead of the 2026 season. For more information, visit MikeyStadium.com. I have not looked at it, but my nose says buffalo chicken. Is that the type of pizza you got? Our crew tells me chicken parm. Now I'm really disappointed. I'd love to try to eat and do this at the same time, but I saw what happened in Days of Thunder with the ice cream, and I'm deciding not to go down that road.
Here, Marcus, here. No problem.
The adjustment is made, and this is a critical lineup for Army. If they got any chance of getting back into this game before it's too late, they probably need to score before the half is over with. Some good running there by Linder. They'll continue to play possession, kick along, and kick to herself, Eisenhart. Eisenhart looks to come down. She looks to offload. Can they get it down? Yes, they do! Morales ultimately takes the offload at the last second in the very, very back of the end goal area, and the Black Knights are back in the game. Alyssa Eisenhart made the play. She kicked it to herself. This is the beautiful thing about rugby. That ball was live, not a grenade, even though we know we have those around here. But she got the ball back, a bit of a busted play. And it ultimately got to Morales at the very last second. She was in the very, very back corner of the end goal area. Kind of like where Montana found Clark at Candlestick all those years ago. Now here comes Alyssa Eisenhart. Story about her grandparents in just a moment. But first, trying to nail this one from Seattle, where her grandparents are from. Off the goalpost. Not the kind of chef's kiss that she wanted. 19-5, 9 minutes left. Keep in mind that Army West Point athletes are not just cadet athletes, but also Warrior Scholars. Army represents Warrior, and West Point represents Scholar. To separate, they would take away the purpose of the U.S. Military Academy. They come together as one to outsmart the enemy. Eisenhart's grandparents are from Seattle. They got in very early this morning, I think, because of all the bad weather we've had. They, I think, got rerouted to Columbus. And I made sure I was to clarify, was it Columbus, Georgia, or Columbus, Ohio? And her grandmother said Ohio, which made a lot more sense. As the hustle continues for Army, they feel like they're back in the game. So, Eisenhart's grandmother said that she said they finally arrived down to the terminal at 1:40 this morning. Rent-a-car was closed, had to wait for 6 a.m. for it to open up, and they finally got in.
Hey.
They were so happy that this game was going to be played. Outside of the players, I'm not sure anybody's more happy we're playing this game right now than they are. So Eisenhart has made her mark on this game already. Now a scrum coming for Army. Gamboa will put the coin into the slot and see what happens here.
Whoa.
You can now buy single-game tickets for the upcoming Army hockey season, as well as full-season tickets, mini plans, and group tickets. Visit GoArmyWestPoint.com for more details and to make purchases. Stay tuned in the weeks ahead. More information on unique game day experience options, including youth team plans. To request new ringside season tickets, please call the RBA Club at 845-938-2322. So Dartmouth gets it back.
Hands up.
Some big hitting is going on again. There's a reason why the rosters are so large. Very rarely do you play an 80-minute game and have nobody from your starting 15 come away unscathed. More solid tackling. And this one's going against Army. Feels like it's frustrating now for the home team. Step forward, step backward. As it was almost picked off, the offload by Harrison was made anyway, able to get it to, I think that was Hugh there on the near side. Shifted back again. It's waffled back. Nice one-handed grab made by Meddy. Meddy tries to get in. Is she in? No, she's not. We've got a bit of a riot down in the corner, and finally somebody steps out of bounds.
We're at the 5-meter line. Wait here.
You know that small dance floor at the catering hall where all the bridesmaids are waiting for the bouquet? That's kind of what we had there. Everybody trying to crowd the same area looking for that one thing, and only one of them can possess it. It'll be tossed back in by Murtaugh. This is a critical play coming up here. Army is very much back in this game, but they cannot afford to give an easy try here for Dartmouth, as somebody for Army appears to be looking for some medical help here. Medical attention, pardon me. Doesn't appear to be too serious. I'm trying to see who it is down there. Whoever it is, she says she's fine. And it looks like Lake says time on. So whatever it was, it's over with. Again, Army must field this cleanly and likely boot it away. Not how they expected it to come, but they'll be able to get some breathing room back. Taken by Shear. Shifted by Pat, who has come on as a substitution. So the first cards are being played from the deck here. Inside the final 5 of this first half as a forward pass has been whistled against the Big Green. Gamboa is anxious to resume, but they got to form the scrum first.
Coach! Fine! Shut! Stay behind!
It comes back to her. So nicely done by Army. Can they get some speed here? Good tackle by Pilotu. Not ruled high. Decent offload there as Army continue to press. But a tremendous shoestring tackle on Gamboa. She's laying still. They got to get the ball away. And another tackle by Caitlin Walker. Can she block too? Her technique's been good. And a good tackle by Talaba again. Dartmouth has this tackling thing down as there's Kaiser wrapping up Fullerton Sander. They are not afraid to hit. As this will be kicked deep. Now it's kicked the other way. It's a live ball, takes a big green bounce. And it's brought back quickly. Is that Pat trying to go forward? You don't want to write off Army at halftime, but a try by the Big Green here would make it awfully tough on paper to imagine Army coming all the way back. They found some stability here, but the handling errors have been much fewer for Dartmouth than the home team. Batista got it for Meddy. Hook back again. Hansen tries to drive through, but the Black Knights close the door. They go from right to left now, but the Black Knights are on it. And we've got a whistle. This one's against Army. So Dartmouth will come back with it. Kaiser. Door is shut. They'll try to climb the back window. It's kicked on the crowd. It's a live ball. We have a whistle. Looks like it was knocked ahead. Just over 2 minutes ago here in the first half. 19-5 to score. Dartmouth in front. Check out the official online store of Army Westport. You can browse the complete selection of officially licensed apparel merchandise by visiting shop.goarmysports.com. Again, shop.goarmysports.com.
Coach! Fine! Set!
They choose not to kick right away. And this one goes off an instep, and it's a live ball. Onside play, and it's picked up by Steen. The ball came right to her.
Hold back!
They're onside. They can pursue it. It's bouncing again, and it's dribbling it like a basketball to get a handle on it. But a big green, she's wrapped up by Eisenhart. That was nicely done by Pent.
Turnover goal!
I'll have to go back and read the bio later to see if she played basketball at some point. Army get the ball back. We're in the final to play here in the first half. The time is ultimately kept on the field by Lake. And somebody for Army is in discomfort behind the play. Anderson is grass. This is not just artificial turf. It hurts if you land wrong. It's a very durable field, that's for sure. Fullerton Sander comes across midfield. Barta tries to barge through. I think Winter Farm is the player for Army who is having some attention given her by the training staff in a moment as play continues. A knock-on is whistled. It looks like we're coming upon the final meaningful play of this first half. Again, the clock will hit 0.
Okay, yeah.
And I think the referee is communicating right now.
All right, thank you.
Just making sure that every single grain of sand in the hourglass is accounted for these are the days of our lives.
I got it, Bradley.
Looks like Winter Farm's day is done.
Okay, all set.
In comes Alex Ferentz.
Okay.
She played hard.
This is the last phase of play.
So she'll have a seat. Ferentz will go to work.
Coach!
Again, it's rare that you get through an entire 80-minute game and your entire starting 15 is intact.
Set! Both sides went straight down. Far side, straight down, reset. Yep.
In other words, you're all in trouble. They'll try again. The last time there were this many people in detention, they were quacking at the principal.
Coach! Fine! Set!
Gamboa looks to get it through. We have a whistle. Looks like somebody came in who didn't belong, so the big green. They have a choice here. They can kick it at the touch and end the half up by 14, or they can press their luck and hope to avoid the whammy. Will it get there? Eventually. And it looks like they'll get one more bonus ball at the pinball machine.
It was, but you can't end on a penalty. That's okay. Yeah, of course that happens when I say like that.
Matt Lake is, I believe, just telling Army you cannot end the first half on a penalty.
Black your mark is here.
You see, it's just like the NFL. So a big play coming up as Dartmouth goes short, trying to catch Army napping. They don't. Good tackle on Hansen. She's been hard to stop tonight.
I got you calling something or no?
Hensiken had the ball. It's shifted now. Pant looks for one final pass. Is she in? Yes, ma'am!
That's a try.
I think it's Walker that got the last pass. So the Big Green get the play they wanted at the end of the first half. Not what Army needed after some strong play towards the end here. Okay. Forget about New Hampshire, Vermont. This conversion is going to be from Maine. The hardest kick all evening will actually go to Abby Kaiser. It'll not be taken by Abby Sabin. They've called in the specialist. Does she need a protractor? Foul ball, strike one. That's the half. Well, to borrow a line from the late, great Dennis Green, the Big Green were who we thought they were.
I don't need all the extra information.
Tries by Mara Hugh.
I don't need all the extra.
Nikki Hensiken to start things off. Simone Bautista and now Caitlin Walker. And two conversions by Abby Sabin, and that gives you 24. Army with a try by Yesenia Morales that got them back into the game. But the Black Knights are down by 19. They've got work to do. Halftime is roughly 10 minutes. We'll be back for the second half here on YouTube.
So yeah, USAA, they always have my back.
USAA? You were in the military?
Oh no, I wasn't, but my grandpa was. He joined USAA, passed membership to my mom, then to me.
There's other ways to get in?
Yeah, my neighbor Ron, he's in because his wife served. Even little Luna, once she's born, her dad served.
So all this time I could have had USAA insurance.
And banking.
Where's my phone?
Over there.
USAA, for the military community and their families.
When pain wants to keep you on the sidelines, know you have options to keep you doing what you love. As one of the world's leading medical technology companies, Stryker offers innovative foot and ankle products that help you get back in the game and on your feet. Stryker and Army West Point Athletics have joined forces to help you learn more about foot and ankle pain and provide you resources so you can find a specialist in your area. Visit Stryker.com/WestPoint to learn more.
Attention veterans. You can shop tax-free for life. Come home to your military exchanges for tax-free shopping, exclusive pricing, and free shipping options. 100% of earnings go back to military communities, keeping today's military ready and resilient. You served. You sacrificed. You earned this benefit. Visit shopmyexchange.com/vets to shop and save today.
At the United States Military Academy, you're on the team from day one.
A team where people are the #1 priority and winning matters.
A team of scholars, athletes, and leaders, each striving to become all that they can be.
Are you ready to join our team?
West Point, where leaders are made.
USAA? Yeah. They have awesome rates on coverage for our car, home, and stuff. She has a lot of stuff.
Dad.
A lot of cool stuff, honey. But USAA also has banking, credit cards, and loans. Plus advice and other perks.
Only for emergencies. Thanks, Mom.
And it's all in one spot. So we know she's all set because we've got USAA.
USAA, more than you might think, for the military community and their families.
He may not turn out to be a black belt or play Carnegie Hall.
He'll take the chicken fingers.
But with the money you earn from your PenFed checking and savings accounts,
He's growing up. Look at him.
your goal of supporting his dreams will always be worth it.
I got it.
PenFed's got great rates for everyone.
Welcome back to Shea Stadium, the temporary home ground for the Army West Point rugby programs. Anderson Rugby Complex's Warrior Field still looks like a bit of a mud pit, but we're hoping that by the time the men take on Penn State next week, that it should be back to normal. For now, what we have here will suffice. And it's been fun to watch, but the Big Green have made a few more plays than the Black Knights have, as Dartmouth is in front 24-5. Again, the tries come from Nikki Ihensikin, Mara Hugh, Simone Bautista, and Caitlin Walker at the end of the first half. Army did get a try from Yesenia Morales, her first points with the program. Tremendous individual effort started by Alyssa Eisenhart, who's been a catalyst for so many things over the last year plus. But right now, the Black Knights need to find a way to get possession and limit those ball handling errors. When they have opportunities, they must make good on them. Dartmouth, two-time defending NYRA champion. That means they don't lose. They're looking to extend their league winning streak to 20.
Ready? Time your run.
I think we'll know a lot about how this game is going to go in the first couple of minutes. Can Army find a way to make a big play to get some points on the board and put some fear into the Big Green's faces? And this one is going to be knocked ahead and hiked back by Hea Pilotu.
All right.
I know that most people in Hanover are probably Red Sox fans, so it might be cool to say she bucknered that one, but it went right through her legs. Good news for Army is they have a chance here, but again, they must make good on this. This is the door that's open to getting them back into the game. People in New Hampshire might also be Expos fans pining for a return to Major League Baseball Montreal. I don't think they're Yankees fans. That would be sacrilege. The egg is carried back. Eisenhart defers on the far side, where it's picked up by Pup. Went back on the far side is Army. Looking to shake and bake on the far side. None of those passes are forward, so play can continue. They continue to gain ground. Again, there's no fourth down. There's no 1st and 10. There's no fifth tackle like we've got in the Southern Hemisphere. Army maintains possession. Carney tries to drive forward. She's still going and going and going. Still a little ways to go yet. Good one-hand catch by Eisenhart, who is just absolutely slammed. If we're inside Crystal Arena, the crowd will be yelling too. Number 2, Manny. She has been great, and more tackling by the Big Green. They have not been afraid to throw the weight around. That was Allie Emerson, new to the game now for the Big Green, making that last tackle. And this one will be taken back by the Big Green as they are able to weather the storm. But now it's given right back as Army looking for a big opportunity to get back into the game, but lasso tackle again. Everybody giving up their body, and it looks like that's going to be a knockout on Carney. The conductor had the baton fall out of his hand as the crescendo was building, ended up in the tuba. That might have been Army's ticket to get back into the game. We'll see if they can turn the beat around with this Dartmouth scrum here. You can still buy single-game tickets for Army football, mini plans, group sales, season tickets, and premium tailgates, too. For more information, visit GoArmyWestPoint.com/tickets. To learn more about this season's promotional days and other game day activities in Mikey Stadium, visit ArmyGameDay.com.
Yeah.
We were holding our weight. I can feel it.
Well, that's fine. The issue was you weren't finding your bind quick enough, so I wanted everybody up.
I had the bind scared.
No, I know. You're trying to get to them. That's why. It's okay. I'm not mad. Let's just set.
I believe that Matt Lake's Instagram is Matt Lake Rugby. I think that's where you can find him.
Coach.
He's been good tonight, and we've learned a lot.
Fine. Set.
Got a little Nigel Owens in him, doesn't he?
Stay back, 9.
Hensiken is brought down as the Big Green will maintain possession. Shifted back by Kaiser as Dartmouth will warm on the attack now and get into midfield. But Eisenhart drags down Paula Arredondo Almeida. Hansen looks to drive forward. Got it to a teammate. It's Emerson. Meanwhile, we've got a slam in the back there as Emily Steen took down somebody for Dartmouth without the ball. Play continues. Now the ball's got a mind of its own, but it's picked up by Morales. She gets wrestled down to midfield.
Turnover!
Now the Big Green will bring it back as that ball is a bit schizophrenic at the moment. I point out again to the team's trainers, we have a gas station on West Point Highway that's got plenty of ice bags right now. Bags of ice. We might need those for everybody when this one is over with. As the Big Green looking for the knockout blow. Down the stretch they come. Is she in? Yes.
$14 on the try.
Caitlin Walker with her second of the game. And while there's still plenty of time left in this second half, the hill for Army has just gone vertical. It's now 29-5. They aren't just physical. They are fast. That's how you build championships. So I think this is Kaiser trying to get to the far side again because of where the ball was dotted down. She's doing this from a long, long ways away. She's going to try to put this one in from Lake Winnipesaukee. I've never been, but I hear it's great. And this one is not going to have the distance. 29-5, a little over half hour left. The Big Green are now in full command.
Thank you.
Remember, competing as varsity athletes helps cadets learn how to win the battlefield. Athletics instills tenacity, resilience, discipline, mental and physical toughness, and the desire to excel. Grit and perseverance are the same things that build winning platoon leaders and company commanders when cadets graduate. This game is not over yet. There's still time for Army to learn and grow. But it looks awfully tough for them to come all the way back here with such a wide margin, and the Big Green clearly prepared for this. But this one is intercepted by Pop as she takes it away from Cordero. Army, can they get the tank out of the ditch? Nice and high. It'll be caught by Arredondo Almeida, and she is taken down. Work back. Punted away by Pat. It comes to Jacobs. She'll say, I want to play hot potato too. And this is dropped. Knock on. Yes. Army gets another chance.
Right here.
There's some singing in the gallery as they're trying to get the home team back into this game. A score here would certainly bring energy back to Shea Stadium.
Fine.
A penalty against Dartmouth. Army will try to rush it back. Eisenhart is slammed back down, that time by Kaiser. No one for the Big Green has been afraid to hit today. And when I mean hit, I mean come at you with everything she's got. Eisenhart looks to come through. She's taken down. Another great tackle. Yes, they've scored 29 points to Army's 5, but tackling has been a big part of Dartmouth's recipe for success tonight. And this one was knocked ahead.
So what happened is the hooker has her bind first, and then number 3 keeps trying to shove and off the bind. You have to go completely over that. It's her right to that bind. You're welcome.
If you heard the exchange from Matt Lake there, the beginning of it, that first word, those new to the sport, that's not a dirty word. That is actually a position in the sport.
Set.
Sadie Shear, it's her turn to pull the balls for the Rectory here. But Army will intercept and try to bring it back, and Shear takes down Gamboa. Trying to drive her way through his pop. Pop, trying to pop her way through. Spins around, but she's going to be a little bit short here. Army with some new energy. Hook back on the left side as the Black Knights knocking on the door. Need to try the doorbell too. That might have been a kick directly into somebody for Army. Is she in? Yes, she is!
Number 8.
Sophia Linder. I'm not sure if there was a kick by someone who went right into her gut. The ball happened to get to her if it was a fake. But the Black Knights get some points on the board. They've got a half hour left. They're only down by 19. They can only be down as much as 17. And they're saying that this is not over yet.
I didn't see anything either. Keep an eye out, okay?
No, it wasn't a kick. The closest thing I think he got to a quarterback draw, I think Fullerton Sander handed the ball off to Linder like she was going back to pass and said, here you go. Eisenhart makes that one. She's 1 for 2. Army, not all is lost yet. They are down by 17. They get a good play here. They get a good play there. They're suddenly very much in the Big Green's rearview mirror. You can place your deposit now for new Army basketball season tickets. Full schedules will follow shortly, and final payments we do in October. Visit GoArmyWestPoint.com/tickets for a new era at Crystal Arena. Season ticket renewals for basketball also happen shortly with the full schedule releases. A big hit by Many, who has had many hits tonight. Barta barges through again. Eisenhart gets out the loft wedge. Losing it in the sky was Amerson. Yes, it does happen. This will be kicked nice and high by Bautista. Also, we got a bunch of jump balls. But Army will secure this one.
Knock on advantage.
And it looks like Lake has chosen a restore point again. You heard him say knock on advantage. Advantage similar to advantage in soccer or delayed penalty in lacrosse and ice hockey. Bautista looks to roll forward. Got it now for Arredondo Almeida. Now it's taken by Cordero. Here comes Hansen. Hansen continues to look for it. Hit the Magnus one, but been knocked ahead by Hensiken. We'll see if the advantage is still given. I don't think it's going to be. It'll be an Army scrum here, just ahead of the 22. Army fans shouldn't have to work hard to find other Army fans. You use Facebook to connect with fellow supporters of the Black Knights while keeping up to date with athletic events on post. check it out at Go Army West Point. Again, Go Army West Point on Facebook. Army needs to be quick off the scrum here. They are. Good shovel by Gamboa. And we've got ourselves a runner. What a big hit. I think that might have been Morales again. No, pardon me. I think that might have been Pop. All of a sudden, the Red Sea parted, and the Black Knights are cooking again. Carney tries to drive again. Cannot. Dartmouth's tackling has been great all evening. They need to be good again, and this one looks like it might have been kicked forward.
Scrum white. Scrum advantage white.
And it looks like, again, advantage given to Dartmouth. This one is partially blocked. And they'll blow the play dead, and a big hit on Morales, that time by Cordero. It wasn't dirty, happened right as the whistle was blown.
No advantage, knock on black, scrum white.
Several players for the Big Green have clearly eaten their Wheaties. So now they'll bring it back. As the Black Knights are looking for a break to get close again. I think a break is exactly what they're going to need here. Dartmouth's been so good defensively. And they've had possession. They've been generally very secure with the ball. Shear will toss it in.
Dangerous play, kicked in the hands.
So Dartmouth will get control again. Kick in the hands was the official call there from Lake, and this one will be booted away by Kaiser. Feels like whatever aura there was following that try by Linder is now dissipated. If Army could have gotten another one quickly, they would have been right back into the game, but now it feels like the momentum has clearly dissipated.
Your mark is here.
Line out for the Big Green, just across midfield.
Time.
And time off, as it looks like there'll be substitutions here for Army. Looks like Sylvie Imrem. Gwen Campos is coming in as well. And I think Harper Ray has come in.
We have stuff. Okay.
Turkey, ham, and tuna come in. Out come Carney. Eisenhart's leaving too. I'm surprised she's off here. And Gamboa. So Bill Leclerc going to his bench. Again, Gwen Campos had that gruesome injury during the Harvard game last season. Knocked ahead. I think back to what I've seen here since returning to West Point as the hockey broadcaster in 2010. The scary situations involving Eric Huss last year and Colin Bielek the year before might have been only the scarier things I've seen involving a Black Knight team than what happened to Gwen Campos when she got hurt in the early going at Harvard at home against Harvard last year. But she's in now to provide some energy here. Quick passes. They're able to complete 5 of them. And it's a big run down to the far side. Play allowed to continue. And now we come to a stoppage.
Yeah, before it's pushed during the cut.
As we get closer to the 60-minute mark, I remind everybody that once we hit the 60-minute threshold, this is an official game. In the event that Mother Nature and Father Time decide to rear their ugly heads again.
Fine. 6 is in the way. 6 in the way.
Distribution. Linder tries to power her way through.
Tackle!
When he says that word, you got to let her go. Pup tries to cut back. Ball is spilled. And it's blown dead.
Sub.
And more subs. In come Grace McCune for Army and Arabella Cassidy for Dartmouth. Aaron Jacobs comes out for Army. And Dartmouth will make a substitution because Cassidy had to come in. And it looks like Katie Hansen, the helmeted one, can rest her head after a job well done. Quick off the scrub, we have a whistle. That was forward. That was too quick. Well, the evening isn't going to be a waste after all. We have reached the threshold, but this is now an official game, and I say that because I get a sense that there's some weather in the area that may prevent all 80 laps from being completed in this race. Dartmouth is up by 17. If we get a stoppage here because of lightning, there's a real chance they won't resume. We hope that they would. But it's been a crazy evening, a crazy day on post, especially those who've been here since 6 a.m. That's when the parking lot's opened. It comes to McCune, who's met with resistance. Dartmouth not taking anything for granted. That's part of a winning culture. I think everybody here at the Academy can appreciate that.
Back 18.
Black and blue and then green. That's the name of the game right now. Maybe some purple, too. Wonker tries to drive through. She gets taken down. Another tackle by Emerson. Has she's got the ball? No, she does not.
On her knees.
Looks like somebody dove in. It might have been her.
Off her feet.
Again, rugby does a lot of things. It allows you to be very physical, but it does not give you an excuse to turn the maul into a mosh pit. You can't leave your feet.
Yeah, we're going to let you reset it this one time, okay? That's all right. It's hot.
Matt Lake has chosen to be generous. You get a mulligan. Is that Control Z or Control X on the keyboard, the undo? I forget. I think they're telling me Z. Some Z's will be nice after this match is over with, but dinner first for everybody. Everybody who's taken part of this game has no problem going ahead of me in line. They've earned it. Both teams have. How will this end, though? Can Army get a try here to make this interesting once again?
Good.
It comes to Barth, but she dropped it, and that's that. I don't know if it's showing up at all on the camera because of how close, how tight the shot is. But we are getting heat lightning, I believe, across the river. Because that's the east side, because that's where Putnam and Dutchess counties are, it's not nearly as much of a threat as it would be if it was behind the stadium here, where if you look behind, that's west. Army West Point Director of Athletics Mike Buddy's announced a strategic plan called Fruits of Victory. This plan seeks to provide cadet athletes the opportunity to succeed as students and as athletes while molding them into exceptional leaders and officers of the U.S. Army. More information on the Fruits of Victory, please visit GoArmyWestPoint.com. Congratulations to Mike Buddy for participating in his first Old Timers Day at Yankee Stadium today. He won a World Series championship with the Yankees 20 years ago, also pitched for the Brewers. They were the opponent today at the stadium. And a huge hit on the far side. Or was it 1998? All those years blend together. I forget.
Lightning.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did he just say the L word? Yes, he did. Well, there's a real chance that we've had the last meaningful play, if not the total play of this game. And I'm not surprised because we saw some heat lightning, I think, in the distance, and at one point, usually it belongs to the trainer for the home team, a buzzer will sound. It's like a pocket pager or a cell phone with a big vibrator on it that says, we've got trouble.
If we give them a water break, and if we're determined that we're okay, then we can go. So we'll check.
I guess Matt Lake wants to have a look at it.
It's okay. Then we're just going to use this as a water break, and then we'll restart with who had possession.
So he's saying water break, which
All right.
It's not incredibly warm. It looks like he's having a conversation with both teams right now.
So we're going to use this as a water break, and then we're going to restart with a scrum to Army.
It looks like they're going to continue to play.
Use this as a water break, and then we're going to restart with a scrum to Army. Yep. Army. Army. It was outside of the 10-mile radius. So use this as a water break, and then we're going to restart with a scrum to you.
So it looks like we've had a reprieve here from the Astrodome. Let them play. Let them play. If you remember which movie it was, especially which one it was in the series, no matter how good or bad it was, thank you. I thought the goose was cooked. If you're struck by lightning, that would cook a goose. But for now, looks like we'll be able to resume activity with, yep, that's the time left on the clock.
Yeah.
You can bid on an authentic Army football jersey, just like the one the Black Knights wore against ULM last week. Proceeds will benefit over 1,000 cadet athletes here at West Point. To bid on it, please visit the Twitter account for Army West Point Authentic, AWP_memorabilia.
Black Trump, because they have possession. Okay. Come on.
So here we go again. Let's see if this impromptu timeout gives Army some juice.
That's right.
A score off of this scrum has the potential to make it a 10-point game. I think I just saw some more heat lightning.
Fine.
As I debated with my broadcast partner at another school earlier today, yes, I was everywhere when I saw all the delays for the lightning come in and out. He says heat lightning is just like old lightning because of what it can produce. So I'll take his word for it. But right now, we're still playing, and we're having a great time. And we're thankful you to join us tonight here at Shea Stadium. This one is fumbled. Or as Rob Schneider once said, fumble-aya. If you know that movie, then thank you as well. Yes, I'm really digging for a lot of things tonight, am I?
Just make sure you have the under. Okay? All right. Thanks.
This one is dropped, and it looks like the whistle will blow here. And I think both teams are starting to get a little bit tired. That water break, following what looked like a lightning strike, might have actually cut the juice for both teams. Army, though, needs it much, much more than the Big Green do right now than the ones that are down by 17. The discussions continue. Shear is ready to put this one back in for the Big Green.
We'll just play. If you need to get closer, get closer.
He says to get closer, and that's okay. If you don't like being close, the front row is not for you.
Yeah. Stabilize! Hold it back.
No such thing as social distancing in a scrum, is there?
on.
This one will go back to Army. They are continuing to work hard, those cadets. Hard work's the name of the game around here. You can't lie, cheat, steal, or tolerate those who do either. Depending how you drive, it's 4 or 5 hours back to Hanover. This score holds. That drive is not going to feel all that long. And this one comes right into the arms, I think, of Bautista. Fumbled again, but it's brought to Almeida, and it looks like that was forwarded. A bit of a spill there involving Harper Ray.
Black, white. Knock on, and then a forward from white.
Black Knight Buddies make up the official kids club of Army West Point Athletics. Open to kids 13 and under with family-friendly benefits aimed to please all ages. For more information, please visit goarmywestpoint.com/tickets and click on the Black Knight Buddies button.
Go! Fine!
There's more applause coming down below.
Yes.
I know if somebody for the Big Green has a massive cheering section. No, it belongs to Sadie Shear. She's the one that's got the ball right now to put it back in. Put back on the far side as Dartmouth will continue to mind the store here. Comes to Emerson. Allie Emerson. Trying to pound her way through. This one goes to a couple of legs at Croquet's back. Some good passing. It comes to Cordero, who's quietly had a good game. But right now, bit of a wrestling match involving Ray and Many. Another knock on. Looks like Quinn Campos will put this one back into play for Army. Again, an opportunity to work on these scrums. Again, the front rows have to work together and then work against each other.
I can understand that. Whoa.
Everybody's singing now. You see, it's a dinner show. Kicked nice and high by Pop. It's a live ball. Anybody can get it. It'll be taken, though, by Piloto. Humphreys, who's quietly had a solid game for Dartmouth tonight. Hensiken tries to go forward. Under 10 to go now. A big hit, but they keep going. Fingertip grab. Keeps the train moving. And Many is dragged down, I believe that time by Barta. Bautista tries to plow her way through. Shifted again. Walker. She's still in there looking for the hat trick. Are they going to try to set her up for it? She'll retain her position in the back as the Big Green continue draining that time off the clock. It's a good kick, but it goes out of bounds. Walker has two. Bautista, Hensiken, and Hugh, I think, have the others for Dartmouth. Linder and Morales for Army.
Army, your mark is here. Your mark.
The house is a rock, and Stevie Ray Ricklick comes in for Army.
You got it. Thank you.
Waiting to see who's coming off, as we've just had another flash of lightning. But again, I think because it's across the river, no one is really concerned about it right now. Again, the rule is it has to be within 10 miles of the site. Ryan Panny, the assistant director for live events, is telling us it's his hometown of Carmel. It's in Putnam County. And we have another try for Dartmouth.
Number 1 on the try.
Josie Harrison, who has not been afraid of anything tonight, gets another brick on the big green load, and they now lead 34-12. So it looks like the defending champs will make it 20 league wins in a row, and they have not seen Harvard yet, but you get a feeling that they're not slowing down anytime soon.
He's got time. Good hustle.
There's no play clock, as Matt Lake is making it clear that you've got time to take the kick here. I wish all of our bosses were that generous. You can take your time. Abby Kaiser in a better spot than some of the conversions tonight. Yes, ma'am. Abby Kaiser is in the club. 36-12 with 7 minutes left. The athletic department of the U.S. Military Academy has its own Twitter account. Follow Go Army West Point for the latest information on Black Knight teams, as well as highlights and content you won't find anywhere else. Again, Go Army West Point on Twitter. Here's the updated schedule because of the weather in case you have not been available to check your date book. It's been a bit crazy because of the weather today. So, we've got women's soccer for Army hosting Colorado College tomorrow. That game's been moved to 1100 hours, 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. It means an earlier mass for some. Men's soccer. Home game against Albany. Moved from Monday to Tuesday because of weather concerns. That game will now take place at 6 p.m. Both soccer games. The one tomorrow involving the women against CC and the men's game on Tuesday against UAlbany will both air on ESPN+.
To 25.
Alima Williams has checked in for Dartmouth, by the way. So has Rain Jefferson.
Here's the 25.
As I'm looking around just to make sure, I feel like my wife trying to take attendance of a never-ending homeroom. I want to make sure that everyone's been accounted for as the broadcaster, knowing that, you know, what if it was my daughter? And I'm trying to make sure that I've got every name that's checked in tonight. I hope I've said every name once. If I have not, I'm sorry.
We're coming back for the knock-on advantage in the line out.
It feels like a
Scrum to black on the 15.
It feels like I'm trying to make sure that I have everybody accounted for. So I hope that I've gotten your kid's name right. More importantly, I've pronounced it correctly. At about 5:30 this evening, very grateful that Dartmouth's assistant coach, Lisa Jackson, was able to go through everything with me for the big green to make sure that I had everything correct. I hope I was able to remember everything because a lot's happened since then. So here's a scrum coming up for Army as a good tackle by Williams on the ball carrier. Think that might have been McCune. No, pardon me. It was actually Campos. So free kick given to Army here. As this one will not reach the seats. 4 minutes left.
Take your pick.
Molly Murtaugh. Her nose has been itching for a lot of things tonight. She's been in the middle of just about everything. And was that,
free kick.
That might not have been straight.
Go 5. Free kick to White. No.
Kahala Bandman tried to sneak that one in, and it might have been a little bit too far to the Army side. Humphreys stays on her feet, trying to drag Harper Ray with her. Comes to Emerson, who's trying to drag more Black Knights with her. I don't think Army is slouching. I think the Big Green have just found another gear here. It's loose in the in-goal area, and Army will take care of it.
It's a 5 meters from the left.
They call that a touchdown. Not the same thing as in gridiron football.
Anything? Okay. All right, thank you.
I believe Taylor Sadek has just come into the game for Dartmouth. Sadie Shear has come out. The box score won't say it, but I think she's had a good game tonight. 2.5 left. This one is taken back. Hensiken. She dives in, yes! That's her second of the night. Nikki Hensiken puts the cherry on top of a massive sundae.
Number 8.
So this victory for Dartmouth right now will have everything but anchovies. If you know the reference at Hanover, thank you. I ate there a couple of times over the years. Was sad to see it close. So Abby Kaiser will try to convert here. There will be one final kickoff. This is not going to take up the entirety of the time left. There's a buck and a quarter left. As Kaiser looks like she's ready to take the bus out of town, but she'll shank this one wide. 41-12. The College Rugby Association of America remains committed to creating the best possible experience for student athletes, keeping commercial resources in the collegiate game, and creating experiences for our members to engage through academic institutions and alumni. Learn more about the CRAA. Visit its website, CRAA.rugby. Again, CRAA.rugby. They had the Sevens National Championship games and the 15s National Championship games and the Sevens tournament, both at the same time in Houston back in May. Was grateful to have the opportunity to work. That was grateful around so many people from so many different rugby programs. And it's not just NCAA members that are powerhouses in rugby. For example, Life University, which is an NAIA member from Georgia. They brought the goods there too. You're trying to grow the sport the best way you can. So for Dartmouth, Hensiken has 2. Walker has 2. Harrison, Hugh, Bautista.
Fine.
They've also scored. Saban made a couple of kicks.
Stabilize.
Kaiser made at least one as well. Yesenia Morales with her first try for Army.
That was
Sophia Linder also scoring.
We're going to reset.
We've fired the final pinball machine at the arcade here. Sadek's going to drop this one in. It's probably the last coin to be put into the slot here.
Fine.
We'll see if Dartmouth decides to get one for the road or just take it a touch and put an end to this. It's a one-sided scoreline, but it does not reflect how hard Army worked and how much we enjoyed being here because, to be frank, we weren't sure we were going to get this game played tonight. With how badly weather had been a problem today across the region, we weren't sure, but we've been gifted with enough of a window to get this game in without any interruption. It's been a tremendous weekend of rugby in tough conditions. We're not playing at the normal pitch Anderson Rugby Complex. We had to play at the Sprint football field. And a big tackle by Cordero, who gets one more punctuation mark as she brings down Ray. Army will learn from this. They'll have to. Bautista with another good tackle.
Let go. Number 8 has it.
This one is going against Army. Not releasing. The big green. We'll kick this to the touch. C'est ça, grand-mère. The big green have now won 20 consecutive Naira 15s matches.
You got 80 minutes in.
That's a lot. And you heard at the last second, Matt Lake saying we got 80 minutes in. Yes, we did. We are so grateful that you've joined us. We're grateful to those who came to support their kids or their friends or people they just happen to know, and hopefully they got to know better by the time this night was over. Dartmouth takes care of business here at Shea Stadium, defeating Army by a score of 41-12. For Ryan Panny, the Assistant Director for Live Events with Army West Point Athletics, who needs a nap in the worst way after an incredible weekend of rugby where we had to plan on the fly with different equipment set up. He deserves a raise, a nap, a burrito, something, anything. And for our entire Army West Point Athletics crew, I'm Nikolai Busko. Thank you for joining us tonight here on YouTube. Whether you're around the corner, around the world, have a good night.